Sleep is part of the daily liturgy, or pattern, or rhythm of our ordinary lives. Genesis and Psalm 3 describe the way that its rhythm is woven into the fabric of our creation and our existence, woven in a way that offers an invitation. So on those days, those nights, when we are so worn out that it is hard to sleep, those evenings when it seems like sleep is secondary to everything else that we have to do, those times when our brains have trouble slowing down, those moments when our bodies won't let us drift off easily, then what? I find it interesting that our tradition ascribes this psalm, Psalm 3, to David, believing that he composed it at a particular time in his life. And it says this in like the little subscript under the psalm title. It says that it was believed that David wrote this psalm when he was on the run from his enemies, which included his own son, Absalom. Psalm 3 is believed to have been written by David when he was running away from family members who were seeking after his life. So what allowed David to sleep when his own son was chasing after him this way? The psalm suggests that he was able to sleep because he was such a trusting person. Now, I have complicated feelings about David. David is sometimes praised as a hero, but the Bible is clear as it presents him throughout the stories that David was a pretty complicated guy. In many ways, I think Absalom was justified in being mad at him. That's a story for another day. But also, I think that David's complication is part of the point. His complexity is part of the point. He found a rhythm of rest not because of his stellar circumstances or his perfect character, but because of some kind of deep trust that eludes many of us. A trust in his heart that coexisted with all that was complicated about him. Maybe a trust that we can't force, but one that we can simply pray for. A trust that comes, like sleep, as a gift. One night when I was struggling to fall asleep, I picked up a Book of Common Prayer, which was given to me by an Episcopal friend. The Book of Common Prayer has daily prayers for 4 times a day. Again, that kind of daily rhythm. It has morning prayer, midday prayer, evening prayer, and then Compline. Compline is for the night prayers. And there are 2 prayers in Compline that I keep coming back to. The first one says, Guide us waking, O Lord, and guard us sleeping, that awake we may watch with Christ, and asleep we may rest in peace. And then the second prayer says, Keep watch, dear Lord, with those who work or watch or weep this night, and give your angels charge over those who sleep. Tend the sick, Lord Christ. Give rest to the weary. Bless the dying. Soothe the suffering. Pity the afflicted. Shield the joyous. And all for your love's sake. Amen. Something about praying to be guarded and watched over. Something about recognizing all the other people who are working or watching or weeping in the night. Something about Christ giving rest to the weary and soothing the suffering and shielding those who are full of joy. All of that assures me that Christ is here with me too, whether I sleep or whether I stay awake. And paradoxically, sometimes that thought of Christ holding all of us is enough to help my mind let go and actually fall asleep. That thought of Christ holding all of creation in its evenings and mornings is enough to sync up worn out parts of me with the cosmic rhythm of things.